Welcome to Tea Time with Lorna. Today we are all the way up in beautiful Beacon Fall. I've never been here before, but I've got to say it looks fabulous. I had a great week. I went to Comic-Con for the first time ever, saw some of the superheroes. I'm really into Marvel comics and was able to get tea while I was there, so that was pretty amazing. I'm so happy to welcome with me to share tea a new friend. We've known each other about maybe 9 months or so. Her name is Desiree Brooks, so I'm so happy to have her on my show to share tea. So,
hi, Lorna.
Hi.
Nice to have you here.
So we're going to start, as always, with what tea we're having today and why. So you picked this one.
Yes,
Tell
I did.
me, why did you pick this tea today?
I picked, it's Mark Tea, Wendell Tea Company. And the reason why I picked this tea is because it's a young Hyson green tea. So it's very refreshing. It's a type of tea that even if you have it warm and you're doing it for herbal remedies, you feel good and feel comfortable. But I also like it because it's really good cold. And today I made it a little differently.
Well, I've never had it before, so we're having an iced drink. I'm usually just a hot drink girl, but because it's you and you've really plugged it, I'm going to try this. And what did you add to it today?
Okay, well, I grow some lavender, and I've been to some lavender places, and then there's culinary lavender, which is a little different, but it's clean, and there's no pesticides or anything like that, so it's really fresh, and I bake with it. So I've been seeing a lot of recipes for lavender tea, lavender drinks, and I decided to infuse this Mark Tea Wendell green tea with the lavender. So we made the lavender tea on its own, and then we mixed it together with a little honey.
This is what the lavender looks like. So wish me luck, everyone. This is the iced tea that we're gonna have today while we chat. So I met Desiree about 9 months ago or so, I think. And one of the things that she does, because she's so multi-talented, is she's actually a life coach. Now, when I say she's a life coach, it doesn't mean I needed a life coach, but I do have a life, and I'm all about being coached if I need it. So I figured it was a great opportunity to learn something. Here, please, drink your tea. Tell me, what do you mean when you say you're a life coach? What does that mean? Oh,
here you go.
Yeah,
tea time with Lorna.
Tea, but that's okay.
Okay.
Tell me about the life coaching that you do.
Well, life coaching is not unlike therapy, but it's not therapy. Okay, life coaching is taking everything that's going on in someone's life in all of its compartmentalization, but bringing it out forward and giving it direction. What does that mean? Well, kind of like what we did with you with even Tea Time with Lorna. Ideas, different things that help you that you have going on because you're so creative and you have a lot of energy. But sometimes you don't know when you have a goal, how to reach the goal and how to formulate it, how to put it together so you're going step by step for its success. How to get to that point.
Well, I have to say, one of the things that I so appreciate working with you was the ability to do some research, and that's how I found the tea school. And you were so supportive in the tea school and helping me go through that process, so that I actually went to tea school. I know, who'd have thought it? So that was great, because that was part of what you had suggested I look at, additional training and stuff, and I found that, and I was really impressed.
Well, from what you started with was the idea, and you liked the tea. But it was trying, and myself and friends that we have, motivating you to take this idea and take it one step at a time, but take it to the next level every time. So you went from the YouTube, you went from tea tasting, and then I said, well, how are you going to do that, and how are you going to come across as being more knowing of it? So you want to get some kind of certification, you want to go through some school, and you want to really learn about tea. And another thing that we wanted to make sure that you had was an LLC, because you want to sell tea. You want to make money. You want to be successful. And having a show is great, and people are coming to see you. But again, that life coaching piece, getting the LLC, being able to sell the teas, taste the teas, have the accessories for teas, and moving yourself out there so you're making money.
Well, I'm all about making money, so that was a no-brainer. I have to say that I really appreciated some of the connections you even helped me with, because my original website, which I loved, was just your basic website, and I'm so proud of the development of where the website is going now. not launched yet, but any day now, and that's going to have access to so many products and so many things. So I'm very excited about that. But what other stuff do you do with life coaching? I mean, it's not just me. No. What about other stuff and other people that could benefit from that type of experience?
Well, it's really listening. First, it's listening to you, listening to your ideas, listening to your worries, your concerns, goals, wishes, and dreams, and helping you put together a plan. You were just saying about how I introduced you and got you connected. Part of life coaching is because you know where the resources are, or you know how to find the resources. And so many folks who are looking to try to find themselves in a more successful place and a little lost, they don't know where to find the resources. So when you're connecting with a life coach is going to give you choices, going to give you direction, but then it's also following through and seeing you through to the choices that you're making. And one of the things that for a life coach, when you're checking in, it's kind of like that helicopter hovering over you, kind of looking where you're going, what are you doing, and if I see a roadblock or if I see something else that might be happening, I want to say, oh, put the brakes on, or did you think about this? Kind of like coming down a path, and there are the two ways you can go, and one way that I might want to steer that person in because I know it's going to be more beneficial and successful.
So what made you decide to get into life coaching? There's a question.
Well, my whole real life job and career has been about training and education.
Okay.
And when you're working with folks who have barriers in place, whether they be disabilities, whether they be impaired in some way, for maybe they've been laid off for a long-term unemployed, divorces for women over 40, there are a lot of reasons for a person who needs to make changes. And sometimes it's just about growth. It's about evolving. And you want to evolve in a more mature way.
So would you say that someone who maybe they're in a company, they are doing very well, they're very successful, but they feel stuck,
right?
Or they don't feel challenged, or they may even want to go in a completely different direction, but don't know how to start or where to start. So do you think those type of, not just women, men too,
Absolutely.
Would they benefit from having something like a life coach?
Absolutely, because one of the things that I found that when I'm working with someone, especially a person who's in a career or in a corporation, they're working alongside their project managers, they're working alongside their bosses, and sometimes the director or the vice president of the company. They might be a little intimidated to kind of just ask for some help or direction from those folks. These are their counterparts, but sometimes there's competition and ego, and sometimes you just don't want to look like you don't know the answers. So a life coach, someone that checks in, listens to you. Where do you want to go? What are you seeing yourself doing? Maybe next year, maybe on this project, right in the moment. It's a guide, but it's also taking all those pieces and helping you move forward. It's a motivation, but not just motivation. You can motivate someone to move, but you want to inspire them as well. You want to know that they have it and that they know how to get to the next level, but it's because they're inspired by something.
But is there money to be made in it? Like can somebody really seriously make a living from this, or is it something you would do as an adjunct to another job or another position?
Well,
can it be,
in a perfect world, I would love it to be great.
No, I can see where it could be fulfilling to do it.
Yes.
But financially, can somebody make money as a life coach?
I think when you're speaking with someone, there are different levels to life coaching. And I've been doing something in terms of helping folks, helping friends, helping family, helping colleagues for a long, long time. But the more I see, and getting a life coach certification, the more I see that people are in need in every facet of their life. If you're an athlete, and even a Michael Phelps or someone who's doing something, and it's just that one thing, but they have a coach. A coach is inspiring them, motivating them, telling where they have to go, when they have to do it, but letting them make decisions and helping guide them. I think life is sort of a sport, but it's sort of something where it would be nice to have that. Not so much in a way where you're talking to a therapist and you're getting medication, but sometimes you're living in a house full of people, yet no one really knows what you're going through.
Oh, yes, I
Okay?
understand.
Sometimes, you have the best friends, but are they going to give you the answer or actually the truth? Because friends are friends. Nobody wants to hurt a feeling. Nobody wants to get caught in an ego or a back and forth type thing, because it can be straining on a relationship. So a life coach is somebody who can meander you through those things, even relationships, helping you with finding and keeping good relationships, communication skills.
That sounds actually really good. It's way more than my limited understanding. So that's great to know, and I'm sure whoever's watching will be fascinated by it. Because like I said, it never occurred to me that, one, it could be a career, and two, that people could make money from it. I could see the benefits and the joy in helping others, because there's many positions out there that you can help others. But what do you do for you? I think at one point you told me a little bit about you were into wines and you liked some type of wines, and we had this whole conversation where I said, well, I'm a tea person, and he said, well, you really like wines. What was the wine thing about? Because you said you had some wine thing. What was that about?
Well, it actually came from a lot of years of an interest. There were some years there where wine was becoming very, very popular, and I was meeting folks, and then we were looking as to that wine could be a little intimidating, and a lot of women or folks that are going to restaurants may or may not know how to order wine, what is paired with wine, or what wines are good for the foods that you're eating or enjoying. And I was interested in that, and I took some classes. I would have loved to have been a sommelier, but I'm not, but I enjoy it. So bring a bottle, have a good time with your friends, and have a conversation over that wine, pair it up with some things. I had a little website at one point called La Femme de Vin, Women of the Vine, and we just did house parties, and we enjoyed it very much.
Oh, so it was almost like you were having dinner, having wine, talking, eating, drinking.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
Like that.
I mean,
is this a daytime activity? Tell the truth.
No. But it could be, especially on a Sunday or brunch of some sort.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, you're kind of managing your life, and you want to have a good time too. So.
But you also, as women, we also, as much as we enjoy all these things, we need these down times. We need these down activities for when we can decompress and just let go of the stresses of life, the day, that week, or whatever. So while I'm not a wine drinker myself, it sounds like a great idea, which I'll steal and turn it somehow into a tea thing. I'm not sure how yet. But
well, life coaching is like being a manager for like a special agent for a celebrity. So you'll need one of those too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find a way to make this more about tea than wine. But I love that idea. I love that. I'm always... I love the idea of women getting together and sharing and talking and exchanging ideas and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know if I told you, but I'm about to have an event myself.
Right.
In September. It's going to be a high tea and charity event where some of the money raised will go to Alzheimer's awareness.
Okay.
Because my mother passed, I guess 8 years ago at this point, from Alzheimer's. So I wanted a way to honor her. So I thought if I, can give away some of that money to them, and they are coming to the event, I'm very proud of that. And I will have someone from there speaking at the event a little bit about Alzheimer's. And, I'm hoping to get this tea specialist in as well to talk about teas and different types of teas.
But is it not just for women? Or
no, the one in September is definitely all women.
Wonderful. Maybe I'll bring my new group.
Yes. Oh, that would be great. And it's, I haven't advertised this, but I'll say it now. So it's high tea, so you will be required to be in your dress, your tea dress.
Wonderful.
Your tea outfit with the hats. So
white gloves too.
No, you don't need gloves. But there will be a prize for the best hat or fascinator.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's happening in September,
and
I'm really, really excited. I'm also using it as a launching pad to start a scholarship in my mother's name.
Yeah, I can really understand that, because I don't think you really realize or know that my mother also was suffering from the early stages onset of Alzheimer's.
I didn't.
Yes, she passed away at 82.
Okay.
Over 5 years ago, and she had very full onset dementia. So it is very important to me too. So I hope I can help you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So the idea of the scholarship is, I'm hoping that people, obviously there's the fee to enter, but I'm hoping that while people are there, they will just give. Now you give what you want,
Absolutely.
and whatever money they give on that day or through the website will be the beginnings
Exciting.
of the scholarship. And then my plan is to start getting applications from participants, in February, March, so that when I do the next event in September of next year, I'll be able to say the first scholarship went to, and this is the name of the person, and they will be there. And so that they can start.
Well, as your
school in
life
September.
coach, we'll have to discuss how you're getting these scholarships out, how people are applying, what is the process?
Well, the process is you just have to be a young woman, you
Okay.
finished high school, and your goal is you've been accepted to a 4-year college, and your major has to be nursing or something medical, or you are an older woman, maybe you're currently a CNA or a companion, but your goal is nursing school. This is for nursing. My mother was in the medical field, so I'm not that there is not a great need out there, but I want to keep it focused on what her love was. When we were in England, she worked at Mayday Hospital for, 20 years on the cardiac ward, and so the scholarship is in her name,
Okay.
and it will be to honor and be given to either one or two women whose intention is to follow in her footsteps
That's really wonderful. You'll use that as a jumping off point to gather interest in tea as well, and do something really good for your mom in her name.
I know.
And
So
we'll
many
have a lot of women to come to enjoy. And I'll maybe focus, and I will announce that on my group that I have now.
Oh, thanks.
It's
don't make me cry.
that's one thing that I found is also needed. And just recently, some things came up about meetups. And how do you meet people that have the same interests and desires that you do and have a good time, especially if you're single or maybe you're an empty nester or you want to find time for yourself. So there's a group called Social Sisterhood,
Okay.
Social Sisters, and it's SOULCIAL. So it's really for your soul, good for you, and a sisterhood is good for the soul. So you can reach out and you can do meetups together of the things that you enjoy or that you feel very strongly about and that are important to you, and share that with another woman.
Well, all these things sound wonderful. I love that idea. I didn't know about your mother, so thank you for sharing that. It's very dear to my heart. I have, sisters, and we all grieved together when she passed. It was stressful, as you can imagine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I just wanted to be able to do something. And at the time of her passing, we decided not to take flowers, and we just had people donate to the Alzheimer's Association. So I'm very
Do you know where it'll
pleased.
be yet? No?
It's going to be in Bridgeport.
Okay.
I was just telling somebody else that I have 2 secured locations already.
One of the ones that I have suggested? Will that be?
No,
Okay.
no, but I might be able to go back to her for additional things.
Okay, great.
Because she was wonderful. But I have 2 places secured, and it's going to depend on attendance, but I really am very excited. It's going to be a great event. I can't wait for people to come and join us and drink tea, learn a little bit more about tea.
And do you know what kind of tea we'll be tasting or having?
No,
Have
I
you
don't
been?
know what kind of tea we'll be tasting yet. But since Alzheimer's Association, they have purple.
Yes.
So that may lead me to want to do a lavender again. That's purple.
I can help you with the lavender.
I
can make my famous lavender cookies, or we can have this
there
lavender
might
iced
be
tea.
lavender. So I don't want the whole thing to be too purple, if you know what I mean. So my goal is to have at least 3 teas that we can try. So I have a tea specialist, and hopefully between the 2 of us we will pick the teas. But I want them to be a
Wonderful.
surprise.
I think that's fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I want to be part of it if I can, or at least attend. Maybe we could get a bunch of other ladies to have high tea too.
Of course. I'm excited to see what Americans come up with. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness! You mean like we're going to the races
or the wedding?
Yeah, or the wedding.
I'm very fascinated. I'm very curious to see what people's version of hats will be, and high tea, and what they think is going to happen. So that to me is like adorable, because one of my friends is like, "Oh, I've got to make something," and I thought, "Okay, all right, let's." And I wrote it down because I want to see what she makes. I'm just curious because she said she was making something. I was like, I got to remember to look at what she's made because this can be interesting. So I'm very.
Do you know
excited.
the date, Lorna?
September 15th.
Okay.
September 15th. It'll be from 11 to 3. I'm very excited. So we shall see. I don't want to say the location because, like I said,
that's okay.
I have 2 locations that I really like the look of, but I'm looking at a 3rd place, and it may or may not win out.
Okay.
But definitely I want to keep it in Bridgeport. The scholarship, talking of Bridgeport, going back to Bridgeport for a second, the scholarship is for Bridgeport residents. I'm limiting it to Bridgeport.
Okay.
Because my mother lived in Bridgeport. She also lived in Florida. So I want to help a woman or 2 women, hopefully, that live in Bridgeport, like I said, whose mindset is to get into nursing.
Very good.
So ideally, if I have enough money, I will give one to someone who's 18, just starting out, and the second to the older woman going back to work. Or, she may.
Sounds like they might need a life coach, and we'll discuss how they can better help get themselves to the next level.
They might. But weren't you telling me that you also have something that you're doing with women over 40 as well? That what was that about?
Well, that is part of the meetup group, the Social Sisterhood, and we're trying to get those that are interested in some things, that want that camaraderie, that want to learn and experience and go places and do things together, because they're looking into expanding their friendships, for maybe deeper friendships or long-term friendships, or it could be just for a day. Hey, you like this, I like this. Let's meet up and let's enjoy it together so no one has to be alone. And there are people that actually have transplanted themselves here from, maybe not England, but definitely other states and other cities. And they're coming into the area and they don't know a lot of people. And they may have children or maybe they don't. But I thought maybe it would be nice for the people who want to reach out to kind of come together. It's a Facebook group and it'll be growing. And I think that it's a really good way to jump off and actually get women involved. And maybe these women can come to your event.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm really about female empowerment.
Absolutely.
This is the time, not that there wasn't another good time, but now we have all these great women's movements coming to the forefront with women taking charge of so many things. And I just heard something fabulous the other day that I think I'm really into Marvel comics and stuff like that, mostly because I have 2 sons. But I just heard recently that I believe it was Jessica Jones, a TV show, that they had a female director for every episode.
Wonderful.
I think it was that one. And then on Oprah's show, one of her TV shows, I don't remember which one, also she had the whole season was all female directors. So I'm loving the female empowerment that is happening right now across the country. Women coming together for the marches, women coming together for everything, supporting each other. So I think the meetup group, excellent.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to go from an angle where, it kind of just limited itself to just female empowerment. I think some women may want to kind of pull back a little bit for something that has become so controversial in some cases or very strong. So when you're saying hashtag me too, I'm saying hashtag why not, and let's include ourselves into the conversation and have a good time together at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree. But so many women have found strength in speaking up. And I'm not referring to the Me Too movement. I'm just saying, when you see discrepancies, that women are now feeling empowered to speak up, whereas before they may have been resentful and accepted it. Now they're stepping up and saying, no, we're not going to do this anymore, or we're not going to accept that anymore. And that's the strength that I love and I enjoy seeing it today in 2018. I think it's great. I'm so proud of the females that have stepped up and said, you know, I want a piece of this pie. Can I have a piece? Because I've been patient for a year, 2 years, or whatever the case may be.
And you also want to know that as in a sisterhood, females are bonding and helping each other, and that you're the type of person that will adjust her crown for her and tell her she looks fabulous rather than be jealous.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we had too many years of women backstabbing, and now we have a lot of women supporting, helping, pulling, pushing,
Absolutely.
cheering on, and just raising each other up. And I'm so impressed. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful for you being a life coach, for me running into you and meeting you. That has been great, because I know that's some of what you did for me when I was like, I want to do this tea thing, and you know.
What was the most famous word I think I had out of my mouth when we spoke a lot?
I don't remember.
Narrow.
Oh.
You were out like this, but we focused, we got you in.
I know, because it
worked.
I have so many ideas and
And they're great.
things that I want to do, and it's like, it's true. You really have to start by doing one thing at a time and taking the first step. Whatever the first step is. And I know for me, some of the first steps were doing the film school, which was perfect, because that was an excellent opportunity to learn. I met one of my camera people there in school who now works on the show with me, so that was great. Going to tea school, getting certified, it's all been an amazing experience. So I'm very grateful.
Well, I'll drink tea to that.
Let's drink tea. I gotta say before we finish,
Tell me.
that I do like this tea. I do like this tea.
I couldn't sleep last night thinking about that.
I do like this tea. It is unsweetened.
Just a little honey is in there.
I have too much of a sweet tooth, so this is good.
It's very refreshing. Do you like the
very
lavender?
refreshing. I do. I was very impressed. I like that tea, so that's a yes for me.
Thank you.
So that's a yes for me. I'm very grateful that you introduced me to another new tea. So I don't know if because we got to round up now. We're going to have another show. But I don't know if I told you that I am going to start doing some of my own blending and mixing.
Wonderful.
Teas.
And you'll have tea tastings.
I will have tea tasting. So
Nice.
Rest assured,
You're going to use
that
lavender.
I will be using lavender.
Very good.
Because I liked it. I think this is my first lavender tea. I think this really is.
Really?
I think this may be my first lavender tea.
Oh, I feel I'm impressed with myself for then
Yeah,
saying that we
this
were
is my
going to do
first
lavender tea. This is
I'm
great.
curious to taste it hot, because really hot tea is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that will really be the real test.
I think you're going to like it because
That
it
will be
is
the real
good.
test.
It's actually a little stronger when it's warmer.
That'll be the real test. Anyway,
you.
I just want to thank you for coming and joining me for tea today with this lovely lavender tea. I had a great time. Thanks for sharing about life coaching and expanding on my knowledge of that. So that was great. And I wish you all the best with all the things you're doing. They all sound amazing. For sure, we're going to have to meet for tea again. And next time, we're going to have a hot tea.
We'll have a hot tea.
We'll have a hot tea.
It's a hot topic.
Even if it's sunny outside and hot, with the Brits, we'll still drink a hot tea.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come on the show. I think working together, life coaching, being friends, I'm so happy to see you succeeding and doing something that you love.
I love it. Yeah, one more hug. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in to Tea Time with Lorna. Again today, had a great time hanging with my friend Desiree, drinking iced tea. It's only the second time I've had iced tea on my show. I want to say it'll be the last time, but that may not be true because I'm really a hot tea girl because I like my tea hot. But the iced tea was great. I had iced tea a couple of weeks ago when I was in New York. It was another scorcher of a day, but I loved it. I don't regret having iced tea today. Feel free to comment below if you want. Subscribe on YouTube. If not, I'll see you on the box in a few weeks' time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.